You're excited? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because, you know, we're live. So,
Nice.
you still
All right.
excited?
I am actually.
My mood has changed 0.
Chat, if you can let me know if you can hear Corey and Jeff okay, because my headset decided to stop working, so I'm trying to work around getting them audio captured.
Hey,
Audio is
Audio's good.
good.
Okay.
Official
awesome.
report.
Yes, please. Because I really don't want to have to interpret for them because they know what they're talking about.
Yeah. A rough game of telephone.
Yes, pretty much. All right, cool. So hi, welcome to the Roll20 Roundtable. I'm Bunny. I'm the community manager. I probably chat with a few of you at this point. We've got Jeff with us, our
Hello, I'm
senior
Jeff.
developer, who has an awesome cat that if you've seen in previous roundtables, you have seen. And we've got Corey, our graphics developer, who is super funny and super awesome and does not have a pet yet, sadly.
Yes, working on that. Working on that for sure.
Hopefully, yeah. Yeah, so we're going to be going through kind of updates here at Roll20, things going on. If at any point, if you have a question that you want to ask, do question in big all caps and put it into chat, and our mods will grab it. It's very weird to not be the one grabbing the questions this time. Yeah, and we'll try to answer everything we can. We do have a bunch of pre-submitted questions as well. So we're gonna try to get through everything we can, but by about quarter of the hour, we're gonna stop taking chat questions to make sure that we actually answer all of the ones that have been submitted. So please feel free to do that. We are also raising money for Code 2040. So feel free to donate because every $100 we're giving away a copy of Bright. So that's pretty cool. It's really fun. We know because we were playing it. All of us are playing
True.
it. So
That's true.
It is very good.
yes, it is awesome. Yeah. So we're gonna, and if we have time, and if my dog stays put, I'll show you my dog later because she's asleep on my futon right now. She's super cute. But yeah. So why don't we go through it? If you want to know what happened on the last roundtable, James Introcaso chatted with us about Bright. That was super fun. And he's so fun to listen to about it because he's so passionate about the system. So definitely go give that a listen. But I'm going to let these two talk about something very excited, which was updated dynamic lighting coming to parity.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pretty exciting milestone. We've been working on it for a long time. So, updated dynamic lighting. We have hit the feature parity marker. I think we've announced that in several locations. So, yeah, I mean, we have essentially everything that old legacy dynamic lighting used to do. Is now reproduced and essentially doable in updated dynamic lighting. There are certainly some differences, and I'm very excited to hear all of those fun use cases and ideally new use cases that folks can find. We have the convert lighting tool. So if you have an older game, or not even a relatively old game, you can just take that tool that is available on your game details page, convert, press the button, pick some pages, and you'll find that suddenly your game is in updated dynamic lighting mode. All your tokens will have converted the previous values and things like this. So updated dynamic lighting can do everything the legacy system can do and more now. You can have vision, light, and night vision at the same time, or selectively any one of those different things. Night vision can have a tint color, additionally a sharpness filter on it. We've got a lot more, what I'd say, precision in our visibility and vision and look for the kind of rendering steps. So it's going to look generally a lot better. We're certainly working on some improvements there, and we can talk about that. We've got directional light and vision, which are now two separate things. And image size of the token is connected to the sort of bounding box. So we have, if you're like a huge Tarrasque, you're going to have a hard time getting through a little tiny, I don't know, rat hole. What are those called?
Sure, yeah, rat hole.
I don't think you can squeeze. I think that's too large. Large creatures, they can squeeze into a medium space, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So that's really exciting. And
Don't
for
forget.
that, we're going to be sunsetting Legacy that is coming. So that our next goal is to be able to sunset Legacy, and we'll be announcing when that happens soon. But be assured that there will be ample time to prepare your games, prepare all the content that is needed to be prepared before that happens. The legacy settings will be staying around, so that conversion is going to be easy and smooth as possible. Yeah, so that's pretty much what we got for updated dynamic lighting. I'm pretty hyped about it. There are a lot of possibilities that we have. Using WebGL gives us the power to use shaders, so I think that we're going to have a lot of fun things to play with in that realm.
Yeah, for sure. Corey, did you want to add anything? Because you've been doing a lot on this.
I did. Like one of the things is like permanent darkness. That's something that I think previously in the legacy system there was a lot of workarounds to kind of achieve the same feature. We took a look at it. We saw the users really wanted this, and they didn't want a hacky way around it. So it's now a permanent feature. Being able to use a polygonal tool to also get that permanent darkness and to be able to switch between Explorer mode that you can reveal versus a permanent darkness that sticks to the screen. These are things that are brought in with this with the parity. So there's a lot of things that we're able to do like that, and definitely more coming down the road. And as we move into this past this milestone into the next one, we're making a lot of improvements in general so that as many people as possible can jump in and actually get a chance to mess around with these new systems.
Awesome. Cool. So yeah, we've got there's a lot of other stuff coming up too. So check out the changelog because that gets updated every single time there's changes. So it's updated a couple times a week, or more depending. Yeah. So we got that going on. We have a ton of product stuff that's come out. Like a ton. We have the class modifier module from Gabe James Games. So if you play 5e, that's a way cooler. Okay, I'm super biased, but that's a way cooler way to create your character than using the racial bonuses. Cobalt Press just came out with Deep Magic. We've got some City and Mist. Humblewood is on Roll20 now, which is super exciting. Harlem Unbound, Call of Cthulhu, and Darker Hue thing is on Roll20 now. Chris Spivey actually did a live stream of it, and they're going to be doing a second part. So that's super exciting. We've got the Advanced Player's Guide for Pathfinder 2. There was a pronoun pack for custom token markers, which is sweet for anyone that it's super helpful. Like, especially as a DM, it's super helpful to be like, oh, right, that is what gender I assigned that person. Like, okay, cool, that's what I used? Awesome. And Alice is Missing also just came out, which is a completely silent RPG. So that's super cool. There's a ton of things going out, so just go over to the marketplace. And we also do the marketplace roundup every Thursday as well with some like new stuff that's come out. So definitely give that a look. We also have a lot of live streams right now. So if you like kind of seeing how the systems work on Roll20, if you also like funny people, that is definitely a thing to check out. Right now, we have a lot. So we've got Mondays has Last Mind of Fendover over on the D&D Twitch channel. We've had the Indie Showcase going on Tuesdays right now on our channel. We also have a new Burn Break actual play campaign going with Salty Sweet Games over on their channel. Indoor Recess is also on Tuesdays. Tuesdays is basically just plan your day to watch Twitch. And then tomorrow, we've got a GM walkthrough for Burn Bright with Gabe James Games, which is going to be super fun. And then Thursdays at 7 Pacific, we have the Burn Bright campaign for Burning Daylight, the first adventure. So there's a lot going on. Basically, just Tuesdays and Thursdays just be on Twitch. It'll just be easier.
That's a lot of games, Bunny.
Yeah, a bit. It's a few.
Yeah.
And they're all good. It's kind of frustrating actually because it's like a lot of time.
How can folks keep up with that stuff?
Oh, if only we had a YouTube where people could watch the VODs all the time.
I think we do.
Are you sure?
Yes.
No way. That'd be
That's
way
right.
too convenient.
Yeah.
Yes, we do have a YouTube. Please just go watch everything there. Because then you can also, I don't know, if you feel like making GIFs of all these awesome streamers and their ridiculous content, they also all kind of like getting tagged if you make any fan art and stuff. It's a thing. I don't, who knows?
I get the warm fuzzies, and I'm not even on the games.
That for now, we have so many, you never know.
Yeah. At this point, if you're tapping for content.
Oh yeah, we're totally strapped. We don't have enough at all. We also got Gen Con online. We did some stuff that's actually all over on YouTube. One of them was a virtual jamming panel with 5 really awesome GMs who have GM'd on Roll20 for a long time. So it was really, really insightful, and it was really good info of like just kind of starting out. And it had some good stuff for like more veteran players and everything. And it was nice because he had like there was a big like diverse perspective of priorities and stuff. So it was really cool. And then yes, Roll20 Con is going to be happening, and yes, we're going to be announcing the dates very, very soon. It's not happening like right now, but we're going to tell you about it very soon. I promise.
Indeed, it's very exciting.
So yeah, I think that's all the main things. Yeah, Gen Con was so much fun. It was hectic, but it was a lot of fun. So yeah, I think I don't know, what do you two think we're ready for pre-submitted questions?
Oh, we have to answer questions on this? I thought we were just
supposedly.
spouting out like random words.
I don't know if they could stop us if we didn't.
It's true. It's true.
We could just play a game like that.
So fire up Roll20, play some Burn Bright.
So let's get going. Cool. So the very first question is from Mousy. Very light. Like, we're going to start this off very lighthearted. Of what is Roll20 doing to improve gaming environments for marginalized and oppressed groups? Yeah, honestly, like, let's be honest, things kind of suck. There's a lot of stuff that really sucks right now. And yeah, it's not okay. So we try to do everything we can, and we try to learn more all the time. The first thing is we have a code of conduct, and we try to actively enforce it, which is basically you're not allowed to be a jerk to other people for any reason. Our customer team is actually, they're constantly looking at it and trying to improve it and make sure it's as inclusive as possible. I know for all of our Roll20 Presents shows, like all the shows I mentioned, we try to promote inclusion and diversity in the cast. We also pay everyone that streams with us. We try to make sure we're sharing resources for safety tools. We actually have started making sure that all of our streamers do session zeros of some sort, just to kind of normalize talking about that sort of thing, normalize caring about each other. We have an outreach program to try to get more Black creators work onto Roll20. In case you didn't see it, we did have a Black Lives Matter statement that we put out months ago at this point. Time has no meaning. I don't know anymore. But we've been partnering with Code 2040, raising money for them. So yes, if you want to raise money, we'll give somebody a copy of Burn Bright. But yeah, so we're actually matching up to $50,000 in community donations. So that'd be $100K at the end of it. We have a guest blog series we've been doing to uplift different voices in the tabletop community. That is also paid. We have, I know that on the dev side, they actually have a style guide to try to make sure that we're, looking at accessibility standards and checking our work against it. There's always work to do, but that's the thing is, Jeff, what were you going to say?
And we're constantly on the lookout and constantly trying to be better, honestly. I mean, all of us really care about this a lot.
Hold on. I think my audio decided to not work for this.
Well, let's see. Can I hear myself on stream?
All right, try that again.
I forgot what I said. No, we're actively trying and always on the lookout, I think, for anything we can do in this regard. I think that's what I'll say.
Yeah. So we're doing our best. Any suggestions community has, you can always reach out to us and let us know, hey, I think this is a good idea, or if you see something going wrong, report it. We have a mod squad that our customer team has been super involved with, trying to make sure that they know our standards and that they uphold them. Technically, any of you talking in chat, you clicked on saying yes to our code of conduct, so you should have seen it. So yeah. Alright, this one is thankfully for you too. Titus asks, when will dim light, dark vision, and overlapping dim being bright come to UDL?
by Corey.
Okay, so this particular issue, it's definitely in our known issues list. If you can check it on the forums. So the problem happens when like there's like two kinds of vision that intersect, and there's some technical reasons, of course, why that's happening. But it's definitely on our list of things to get fixed. So it's prioritized, and we're definitely taking a look at that. It's going to make it a lot easier for the GMs who are prepping, and even some players who have access to like multiple tokens that have that vision. But it's coming up soon. At the moment, we have like a list of things that we're fixing, and I think later down the line I'll get into like more of the things that we're working on. Like Jeff, you were saying.
Well, I'm just so that is sort of the top of near the top at least of the list in terms of resolving the any conflicts that dark vision has with other types of vision. And once we are able to get that resolved, we can implement dim light essentially, or a low light style of dark vision. I think this leads pretty well into our next question. Which is I'm gonna have to talk now because I can't hear Bunny. I don't know, maybe. Yeah. Yep, I'm pretty sure that Bunny's audio has cut out because I can't hear it.
Yeah, no.
I can hear Bunny now.
Bloody
Hey,
hell.
you're back.
I'm sorry.
Welcome back.
I will do something to my headset after the stream because I'm sure that's when it'll start working.
Maybe ritually sacrifice it and replace it with a new one.
Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah. So Ramsey 2, Ramsey II, Ramsey the second, whatever you want to be called, asks, updated dynamic lighting has a tint on dark vision. Why can't you do that for regular light?
Oh, we totally can. One of the reasons why we went into this project and with updated dynamic lighting was to allow for the flexibility in the system to make adjustments and make feature sets like that. With Legacy, there was a lot of spaghetti code in there, and it was nearly impossible to get the features to work in the way that you would have enjoyed them and the way that we could have worked through them to add features. And with UDL, this is going to be so much easier to implement, and this is definitely coming. We would definitely want to get this coming down the line.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that this sort of thing is one of the things that we talked about early on in the process of designing this. Of hey, we can do some really cool effects on vision, and certainly one of them is tinting with colors.
And colors, yeah, it's just a start. We have so many more plans.
But importantly, we definitely do have to solve the kind of overlapping vision issues that we talked about earlier there with the night vision thing. So once we resolve that and get that down the pipe, then we're going to be able to start playing with a lot more of the stuff more effectively.
Speaking of things to get resolved, Ryan asks, when will the bugs with UDL be fixed?
Well, I would say iteratively and constantly. There's absolutely a lot of bugs that we have had and are fixing every day. If you look at the change log, I think you'll see most of the time, at least a lot of the time, there is a fixed bug with UDL where or something to that nature. But that said, we're absolutely continuing to work on that. And every day we're working on specific bugs and issues to resolve. What we just talked about already are kind of our priority at the moment, but I mean, as soon as they're done and tested and ready to go, those fixes and new capabilities are going to be released. So.
Yep. And once again, definitely, we're paying attention to, we have the known issues, which we let folks know about in the forums. We're also looking for feedback in the feedback thread. We look at every last one of those posts. Like that is for certain. It may seem like sometimes, there's an issue that some folks are having that we may not respond to like on the nose, but it's because we found out, there's a problem related to that that's that is a symptom of something else, and we're actively looking at the root of the cause that will ultimately fix that. So yeah, we are definitely paying attention. If for some reason
keep the feedback coming.
Yeah, keep the feedback coming, honestly, because like we take a look at it, we take it to heart, and it's led to us making the improvements that we have in the past couple months.
And honestly, it's kind of hard for us to like fix things if we don't know that they're broken,
True.
or that if we don't know like certain use cases and stuff. So like for real, I mean, for everything on the everything that gets reported, I'd say at least minimum of 3 to like 10 people look at it. So yeah. Right, cool. Speaking of more dynamic lighting stuff, Let's Get Better asks, is there a roadmap timeline for dynamic lighting upgrades and new features specific to pro players?
So as far as dynamic lighting upgrades, we have a large investment of development work going into this. We have multiple teams specifically dedicated to working on the Roll20 platform at large. For dynamic lighting, we have Corey is a key component of the sort of main team that is running that cycle through. But we have teams for other sort of vectors on the site as well, and we are sort of constantly working on not only improvements for everybody, but also some pro features in the planning stages and some in the slightly after planning stages. But definitely look forward to that kind of stuff. I don't have any particular details, but definitely some new stuff this year. There is I think a pro road mapping thread on the forums where you can check out some details there, and we'll definitely have more to come.
Cool. More to come. Yay. All right, so the next one, Christopher, Zach W, Gary, Matt M, and Aranthian ask, is there an ETA on when Sword Coast Adventures Guide will come to Roll20? Not gonna lie, I was like, we should be like, no, we don't want to. Of course we want that. We are still in 2020, and it will definitely be done by the end of this year. The plan has been to be backlog complete by the end of 2020. That is still the plan. We have some other really cool, exciting announcements coming out. We had Out of Abyss come out, and we're gonna keep being
that is so
day.
hype. I was super pumped when I found out that Out of the Abyss was happening. Having it on Roll20 makes
Have
that
you gotten
game
to play
so
it
much
yet?
easier. I have gone through and played some of the module. Yeah, it's so
Nice.
awesome. Yeah.
I haven't. I can't wait for Skag. I mean, I'm excited about it too.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we're gonna be day and date with the rest of the WotC releases as well. So you know, Tasha's Cauldron and Rime of the Frost Maiden, like that's all. Yeah. But yeah, end of 2020. That is still the plan. That we will have Dungeon Master's Guide and Skag come out. So should be good. Our production team works really hard. So. Sparky asks, token actions are key, yet none of the creatures from the paid for monster manual have these provided. Do you see them being added in the future? So we don't currently have a plan to implement token actions in the licensed content, but please continue to give that feedback. And you know, letting us know here, letting us know, like even submitting help requests on the help center to be like, I really want this thing. It just helps us track. You can also use the suggestions forum. That's a really great place. I know our product director is in there.
He is obsessed with that forum.
Yeah. Like I'm pretty
if
sure
it's
he's in there, every day.
he has seen it, and trust me, he has a lot of sway on what we get done here. He's a strong voice. So yeah, definitely check out the suggestions forums.
Yeah, suggestion forums is great. And honestly, I've gotten ideas of like, oh yeah, that'd be great, like just by going in there. So it is looked at. So please feel free to go in there, suggest things. All right. Bramble asks, what is the current priority of the Roll20 team for features?
So right now, our top priority is absolutely to finish and polish out updated dynamic lighting and sunset legacy dynamic lighting. So I think we've talked about that quite a bit here, but definitely that is our number one priority. The other, I think, big priority for us is a totally new mobile app for playing with Roll20. It's shaping up to be very cool.
So
and yeah, that's next on the list. And we certainly have a lot of other things kind of running. I guess is there a football? I'm trying to think of a football analogy, and I don't think I've watched football in like 2 years. It's like a wide receiver kind of going long. Listen, there's other lanes they're running as well, and we're constantly working on this kind of stuff. So But yeah, those are our 2 priorities.
Roll20 devs doing sports metaphors. That worked really well.
I've made a first here, Bunny. And also, it was a very good sports metaphor and not inaccurate at all.
Too funny. All right. I just wonder. I'm sorry if I butchered that. Asks, would it be possible to implement a toggle button for DMs to allow players to edit and save their tokens? Corey, you had a specific nod. What do you think?
I think that's a great idea. I think that is within the realm of totally doable. And you should put that on the suggestion forums so that it gets more votes. Like these are solid ideas that like when we get more traction on it, like yeah, we'll definitely get that to happen. That's a great idea.
Yeah, that is. Please go check out the suggestions forum if you're watching this, and make sure it's there. And if it's not there, make it, because that's pretty dope. All right. David G, what are some of the considerations that have to be made for a tabbed chat? I do not know that answer.
A tabbed chat. Yeah. So the platform, that is to say, the virtual tabletop. I guess. I guess what the question here is essentially, rather than a single chat window, or I guess bar scrolling chat, there are maybe multiple chat tabs. I don't know. I think that this is a neat idea if I'm interpreting it correctly. We haven't really considered this specific example, but as far as considerations that would have to be made, I suppose the infrastructure of the VTT is definitely something that we're looking at, and specifically the chat area and all of the other tools around that are something that we want to. We definitely have plans to improve those and kind of bring a modern touch to those. So maybe some kind of tab chat as part of that. I don't know. It seems like a cool idea. I can tell you that we have not had that idea. At least I haven't. Maybe someone else has that I'm not aware of. But hey, now I've seen it, so maybe I'll bring it in. We'll think about whether that can be useful. If I misunderstood your ask entirely, I apologize completely. And
that's also another good one to check on the suggestions forum too, because that way you can expand on exactly what you mean and what you're looking for, and other people can join in. That's actually probably my favorite thing about those forums, is like seeing other people like put in use cases and iterations and stuff. So
yeah, the back and forth is really cool.
Yeah. All right. James from Roll to Roll. Hi, James. Can we get an option to use Roll20 official sheets for NPCs, monsters, but use different sheets for player characters?
I must confess that I did smile when I saw this question, because I have thought this exact thing. Unfortunately, the way that character sheets work right now, it would be a pretty significant architectural change to how character sheets work. And getting multiple sheets in at the same time for a game, and even getting it to work with, let's say, roll templates and macros, would be quite a lot, I'll say, and certainly not an easy endeavor. It would end up having some performance implications as well. So not anytime soon, I'll say, but I will say I've had this desire myself, and I definitely understand where you're coming from. So it's not something that's going to go away entirely from possibility, but certainly not soon.
Oh, it'd be super fun with Humblewood too, because like the Humblewood sheets are like the player sheets are super fun and like stylized.
Yeah, luckily with some sheets, especially more lightweight games, you can have things. You can have that kind of thing within the sheet, and in an efficient way. You can have different types of games or types of characters. So like the Blades in the Dark sheet does this really well. The 5e sheet, our official 5th edition sheet, has NPC mode, things like that. But yeah, I hear you.
Cool. Andreas J, hey. Can you give any updates on the mobile tablet app which is in development? When and what can we expect from it? You did tease a little bit. I don't know. What do you think? Can you tease a little bit more?
So yeah, I can say that we are still well on our way here to an initial release of that app this year, and so the the features that we have certainly running in there are an in-game text chat, which is going to include rolling in-game and interacting with players in the game from your mobile app. There are certainly some other things, but I can say that there's a lot of cool stuff going on in there. But this year, look forward to it.
I'm like, now I kind of want to be like, Corey, can you tell us more?
The things I want to talk about, which I'm excited about, are more just like infrastructure wise, but like it's I'm excited for what the mobile app has in the state.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be great.
All right. Well, Dahak asks, when will my adventure path Age of Ashes be released? And they specifically wanted to be able to TPK their players. I believe in you. I think you can TPK a group without having to rely on a pre-made adventure. But for your actual question, we don't have any current plans to release Age of Ashes. We are day and date with Agents of Edgewatch, which actually part 2 just came out this week.
That sounds
familiar. It came out. It just came out. Extinction Curse is available in full. The Slithering is out. Fall of Plaguestone. So we're going to continue to be day and date. But as of right now, we don't have any plans for Age of Ashes. So. All right. Con265 asks, can we expect more Starfinder Adventure Path content? We don't have any planned for 2020. But interest in Against the Aeon Throne Adventure Path that we have the full thing of, as well as like asking here or elsewhere that you can find us for more Starfinder stuff will help us get that out. So speaking of Starfinder, Anonymous asks, what's up with the Starfinder Charactermancer? So we mentioned it before. Kenton actually even asked people to apply, I believe, for if people want to help out with that Charactermancer. But it's had some kind of unanticipated obstacles. But that is something we're hoping to get back to. So like it's something we plan to get back to that we are not currently working on. So hopefully that helps a little bit. Just a reminder, do keep trying to get those questions in. We're going to try to get through these, and then we'll try to get through all the ones you all are asking. We have a few left for pre-submitted, but hopefully we've been answering some of them at the same time. So, all right. Anders P. Any way of having the player directory be easier to use? What do you think?
I will answer this question by giving it a different, by not answering the question. In short, I think that having the player directory be easier to use is not the goal of any improvement for that experience. I think that we all think that there are definitely better ways to find players and find games for players than just a big player directory of lists. So we are absolutely making those kind of ways dedicated to making those kinds of methods work better. Look forward to that stuff. We're definitely working on that.
Cool. Barry asks, is Roll20 due for a general UI overhaul round of bug fixes? I think Corey should take this one. What do you think, Corey?
If you were here a little earlier, you saw that we were talking about a number of bug fixes that we're making. I know just to UDL, but elsewhere too. That is something that is higher on our priority list. It's something that with my lens of the lighting system. Yes, it is something that it's a major part of what we're trying to fix. Not just because bugs are terrible, but also the less bugs, the more people can have the experiences that they want to have. At the end of the day, so yeah, more people playing, more people having fun with their friends. Like that's the goal.
The only bugs we want are the burn bright bugs.
General UI overhaul and user experience improvement. Yes. Yes.
Do you know anything about that, Jeff?
Just yes. I think is what I have to say about that.
Okay.
All right. Masters8 asks, will there be a way to batch import and export from the player vault coming?
So yeah, I think as far as accessing your own data in games and out of games, we are definitely thinking about that as an area that definitely needs attention. Yeah, for sure. as far as UI updates and experience updates, that's absolutely on the list. And as far as batch import exports and other ease of use type of things that make it easier to control and manage your own characters or other things like that, are absolutely on the table for those kind of upgrades that are coming down.
Woohoo! Master State and Bramble both want to know, are there plans to implement a search function for token markers?
That's sorry, I have
You have a thought on that?
a GM from one of the games I'm in had this same problem, or rather, this request, and I was like, "That's a great idea," and I will say that again here. That is a great idea. Add it to the suggestion forums, and that's
Please.
it's possible. That is totally possible. We give folks the ability to edit. That information is there. We just need to sort it. So yes, make that a thing that we can focus on.
Tell us to do it so we can do it. That's how that works?
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
All right. Andreas, Jay, Masters 8, and Bramble all want to know, can you give us an update on custom compendiums?
So this is kind of a similar situation to the player vault I talked about earlier and other access to your own data. We don't have a timeline on kind of adding that kind of feature, but it is a similar situation. The compendium is definitely a big thing, and we have lots of different plans for the compendium. So yeah, no timeline on this in particular right now, though.
Bramble asks, when can we expect Transmogrify for entire folders with handouts?
I feel like the answer to that might be somewhat similar. But like, I don't think we have an exact timeline for that. But
so like a Transmogrify an entire folder rather than individually. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of similar to our UI improvements, right? So we have two big, I think, areas for UI improvement. The VTT, virtual tabletop, and this would be kind of in that zone. So there's no timeline on this right now either, but it's certainly in that realm as well of things we want to tackle. So keep an eye on that. This is also potentially something outside of app that we'll tackle. So
Cool. Anoindy asks, are you planning on releasing more Call Cthulhu? I don't know if I was cut out at all. Are you planning on releasing more Call of Cthulhu, such as the Investigator Handbook, the Spell, and Monster Compendium? We released Harlem Bound today, which is super awesome. It's got 7 scenarios and like setting info, and it's really cool. But we do actually have more Call of Cthulhu content coming out this year, so keep an eye out. That's my answer. That's all I can answer. Joan Kuakane asks, I totally butchered that. What schedule does a jukebox have to resync with tabletopaudio.com?
Oh yeah, so with tabletop audio, we have some things that we need to do for integrating with them a little bit more seamlessly and automated. So that's something that we need to work on. But as far as when those resyncs happen, it's kind of on a semi-quarterly-ish basis. And there's actually an update coming up soon, probably next week. If not then the week afterwards, with the new updates there. So yeah, I mean, look forward to that. We're trying to keep those as common as possible, but right now the process is pretty manual. So
it's funny. I was creating theme music for some of my players literally yesterday. I was like, I wonder when the next set of tabletop audios come through. As I was going through the list that we have already. So that's good to hear. I'm here to view as well.
You're here as a player.
Corey, you mean you don't know literally everything that's going on at Roll20?
We do have one last pre-submitted question, but we're going to save that for a little bit. We will go over to chat questions. I know we answered some kind of a little bit anyway. So yeah, so let's see. We got well, it looks like our mods. Yo, y'all are super on top of it. Oh my word, like Nick went through and super went like talked to everybody. Well,
I
fine then.
guess we're. I
Okay, I
guess
found
our
one from
job
Mono
is
Cricket.
done.
Another tech question. WebAmness can be a pretty heavy performance killer, particularly animated weather. Is that something that can be looked at, or is that a limitation of the current infrastructure?
So it's certainly not a limitation of the current infrastructure, although there's a kernel of truth in that kind of thinking. So the way animations work and how they interact with some of the more legacy aspects on the VTT, it is absolutely something that we're working on. There are definitely older code paths, as it were, that end up getting hit a little bit too often with things that need that 60 frames per second that an animation demands, and that definitely can put a strain on certain systems. So we're absolutely doing kind of performance kind of testing and weathering to see what kind of benchmarks and things we can hit. So it is not a limitation. We're absolutely looking at it. We're aware that is a thing. So yeah.
Cool. Joshua, are there any plans on the roadmap to allow theming of the UI to create branded, more aesthetic UI beyond the character sheet? So the follow-up for that was so like additional theming and customization for the VTT itself.
So like customization for, say, if you're playing Starfinder, it'll have like a sort of sci-fi appearance for the chat and okay. That is a cool idea that I actually have not heard before. So I can fairly safely say that
So
we don't
Joshua,
have plans.
suggestions for him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do that for sure. We definitely have UI improvements in general coming down, so I can't say that we're going to do anything like this anytime soon necessarily, but you never know.
Yeah, I think CSS, they're giving us a lot of with CSS3. There's a lot of opportunities to create like themes, and custom themes is something that we could easily get out. But of course, testing that it's going to be a hurdle. But I think if we do this in the right way, like this is possible.
Yeah, there's certainly there's usability concerns, right? We want to make sure that everything's still accessible and things like that. But
Yeah, I didn't realize that we didn't
I
really have that
have
already because I'm used to using different character sheets.
I mean, I'm always on the character sheet. We definitely have discussed things like dice skins and things like that, but as far as like entire aesthetic changes for the whole VTT, we haven't. So I guess in some ways, we have definitely touched
I
on
want
some of
custom
that
dice
stuff.
skins because I've got 200 physical dice and they're all different, and I want that in my VTT.
Yeah, that's fair.
Cool. Yeah. So Silver Sword. Will card decks ever get some love?
You seem excited to say yes, Corey.
Love you,
so.
card decks.
Yeah, I think they deserve to get some love. And it's
Yeah, we don't have anything specifically right now on the timeline for card decks, but I recognize very thoroughly that there are definitely some limitations with the current approach. It'd be really great if you could have a custom back for each individual card and things like that. So yeah, I mean we absolutely have considered these things, and I can say they will get some love. I can't tell you when.
Cool. Yay, love. Mono Cricket. I like shiny things. Me too. Solid. But I'm seeing a lot of performance complaints on the forums. Is that expected with how WebGL works, or is there space to optimize? Yeah, so I know that our mods gave you the UDL feedback thread, but do you two kind of want to talk more about optimizing WebGL stuff?
Yeah, I guess I'll take this for sure. There's definitely many places we can make optimizations as we go through UDL. One of the reasons why we're focusing on this period to really focus on those things is to not just fix errors where people are crashing, getting into the system, but also the load times it takes to get into these games. Making sure that every step of the way as you're updating the loading system, that what you're seeing is just as fast and snappy as possible, even when it comes to like the rendering steps. There are specific, we have listed down how we're going to tackle that, and the means in which we're going to do those things. I know that as we speak right now, we're handling a lot of critical bugs that a majority of our users have faced. But for sure, like this is a big performance pass as well. And there's so many ways we can improve. That is a guarantee. We are definitely going to be improving performance in the upcoming weeks.
Cool. De La Salle, any plans of integrating with Sirenscape? For what I know, we don't have any current plans. You two can correct me on that if I'm wrong. But if you really want them to try to get their stuff on Roll20, reach out to them and have them, reach out to us. So you can. Does that sound? You two don't know of any plans?
Yeah, I think we may have done some talking in the past, but I have no idea. Cool. Certainly a thing that would be neat, I suppose.
I'm personally not against it. So yeah, if Sirenscape, if you're on stream right now, hit us up.
That's cool. Gunkle Phoenix has a very important question, and then we can do the last pre-submit question. So since we actually don't have many questions left, if there are any other burning questions people have, go for it. I'll give you a couple more minutes. But yeah, Gunkle Phoenix's question is extremely important. Who do I need to Venmo so my average roll isn't 7 or below?
Jeff, can't hear you. But are you the person? Because I will also Venmo you. I've had some pretty bad rolls this week. Got it.
Sure. Accidentally muted. That's so weird.
Weird. How'd that happen? I definitely wasn't asking for extortion.
Yes. So, answer is yeah, sure. No.
I'm afraid we do not take bribes. The quantum roller is king and works off of literally photons.
The quantum roller doesn't take bribes, but
Yeah.
Oh, Monocricket. It sounds like there's a lot of spaghetti code obstacles. Now I'm hungry. Which is expected from a first on arrival type platform. What features have been difficult to work through with the current structure? Oh. All right. Well, cool. That's the last question we can definitely have because that's gonna take a while.
Jeff, you start, and I'll try to think of some other things that I've had problems with as working through this over the time that I have. But.
I think that the virtual tabletop is definitely a really cool platform. There are a lot of pretty awesome features that were sort of bootstrapped from nothing very quickly. Unfortunately, a lot of that has ended up meaning that some of the code is more rigid than we'd like. So we've worked on a lot of refactoring under the hood. For example, just the updated dynamic lighting in general is essentially an entire rewrite into a completely different technology. So at that point, we weren't really able to. We had pushed the boundaries of what we could do with that before. I think another good example is not as user facing. I think we're going to want to talk about this more in the future, but just expanding our capacity has been a fun thing because we have to have a lot of that kind of automated infrastructure and deployment process was not a thing that was exactly feasible with how the app was bootstrapped in the past. So we did a whole lot of on the ground work to get that operational and get the code singing a little bit better there. But there are certainly more places and more areas that we both plan to touch and are very excited to kind of refactor and deal with going forward.
Yeah, I can say one example. Not to get too technical, but related to EDL, one of the bugs that we're tracking down. The way that it's built out in the new updated dynamic lighting system, it's fine. It's doing exactly what it should be. But there's some references going back to that old spaghetti code that doesn't even touch any of the lighting systems directly, but it's creating problems further down the line. So if we fix the source of that problem, it'll bubble up and we'll get the results that we're expecting in EDL. and affecting a good chunk of players. So it's moments like this where spaghetti code is. I know nobody enjoys spaghetti code. This is quite the beast, but working through that and making sure that in general, when we're making changes, we're making improvements as we pass through, and we're making sure that those changes don't affect anything else negatively, right? And we've made considerable improvements to make sure that that's the case.
Yeah, code health has been a really big priority for us in the past couple of months, certainly, especially. So, yeah, we're I guess to sort of conclude on that. Yeah, I mean, there are obstacles on that, but yeah, hopefully they are definitely clearing up. And while some of the kind of new stuff is at times appears to be coming out a little bit slower here and there, I think you'll definitely find that as we clean up the spaghetti and I guess turn it make it into dry straight spaghetti.
Lasagna?
Nailed the analogy. You can reverse spaghetti. Entropy's not a thing. As we do that, I think we'll see a lot more velocity. So, yeah, it's exciting.
You can reverse spaghetti. See the things you learn at the community roundtable. You can reverse spaghetti.
Yes, that's right. You can unheat spaghetti. Only on Roll20.
Only on Roll20.
Shout out
so
to my
that was the last chat question, but we do have one last pre-submitted question.
Cool.
Y'all ready?
No, absolutely
not. Mitch wants to know if we have ever castrated a bull.
On purpose?
There's not specified, so I
mean, you mean intentionally or?
Well, I guess that answers us for Corey.
No comment.
I'm sad to say that I have not lived the life of adventure that Corey has lived, and I have neither intentionally nor unintentionally castrated a bull, at least to my knowledge. Now you have me questioning myself, so I can't say that I have.
The chat says that you have experienced some life, Corey.
If only they knew.
So yeah, all right. Well, on that note, do y'all want to see my puppy? She's sleeping. She's been very cute. I can't believe she's still in the room. Actually, she normally just like pieces out because I'm not paying attention to her.
Pupper.
I know she's hard to see.
She's kind of camouflaged there.
Yeah. Her favorite couch is exactly her fur color. So it's like a dark brown, and she'll sleep on it, and I won't be able to find her because she's also smushy and stuff, and she smushes into the couch. But that's my baby. She's
10
my
out
oldest
of 10
baby.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
Yeah, so thank you so much for joining us and for dealing with my audio issues and stuff. The VOD will be up over on YouTube probably tomorrow. As soon as I put it up there, really. And yeah, you can always catch us. We'll be doing this monthly. Next month, it's actually going to be awesome. It's going to be our product director and our chief technology officer, CTO.
They're cool, but they're not as cool as us.
Well, okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, Morgan's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then also,
Kenton.
And also our marketing director is going to be there too, so like it's going to be
it's going to be really hype. I'm actually looking forward to that myself. So
it's also going to be all new pets.
Yeah, true. All new, never before seen pets.
Never before seen pets. Morgan has goats,
folks.
So
need to get a special edition with those.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, everyone. And go play some games this weekend. Go do something fun because we all need some fun, I think, right now. So,
yeah.
Bye.
Take care. Stay safe. Y'all.